Today, we're here to talk about getting some quick wins when you're downsizing, whether it is in order to be able to retire and travel full time, whether you're wanting to rent out your house because you're traveling part of the time and you still want a home base, whether it's because you want to downsize and you want to move to a smaller place, or whether you just want to clean up your life and have less clutter in it, maybe as a kindness to your family members. Whatever the reason, we're here to help you get started and to make that process successful.
This is the third episode in our series. If you want to look at the other episodes, they'll be down in the description below.
I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Find Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way. It's important to understand why you're choosing to declutter and what your timeline is for this decluttering process. It's also easier if you're getting rid of everything because then you don't have to worry so much about the hard decisions. Everything must go. And when you get to the sentimental stuff, it can be a little tricky, but we'll try to make that easier for you too.
We put together a checklist to help you go through the process of deciding what to sell, what to donate, what to trash, and what to gift. You can find that in the download section of our website, but you can also see it in the description below, which will also have the other episodes in our series.
The best way to get started with decluttering is to give yourself some quick wins. What you need to do is build up your discard muscle, and that means avoiding things that have sentimental attachment. Anything that is really sentimental to you is going to be harder. You need to save those things for later.
So what do quick wins look like? Quick wins give you an immediate sense of accomplishment and make a big impact. Quick wins uncover floor space that has been cluttered forever. Quick wins let you walk into your closets without stepping over stuff. Quick wins are getting rid of things you rarely use or think about. Downsizing is hard, but the quick wins that we're talking about in this episode are going to give you the energy you need to propel forward.
It's easy to get trapped by the thought, but I paid good money for all this stuff. The concept is called sunk costs, and it means that you paid for it, you've used the stuff, you can't do anything about it. It's been spent, it's in the past. You need to move forward.
Holding on to anything just because you paid for it or because it was expensive means that you don't own the stuff, your stuff owns you. And that's not what you want to do here.
You've had your use of it. It's been with you the time it needs to be with you. Move it on. Give it to somebody else. Let them enjoy it. You're doing yourself a favor.
For now, we're not going to talk about any of the sentimental stuff. We're just going to take those items and corral them all into one part of your home, and we'll tackle them later. These are going to be the hardest decisions you have to make. And again, as Kevin was saying, you have to build up your discard muscle before you're able to work on those. Once you see just how many sentimental things you have, and they're all clustered together, you're not going to want to go through them one by one and look at every movie stub that you've ever saved. It's going to be a lot easier for you to kind of just move through things very quickly and put some of that behind you. Most of it.
We recommend you create a staging area with piles for gift, sell, donate, and trash. Your donate pile may end up being in your car because you want to get that stuff to the donation centers as often and as fast as possible.
You're going to want to make sure that those areas are clearly marked, especially if you're going to have family members that are going to help in part of the process. You don't want to mix them up.
This staging area may be in a corner of your home, or it may be in your garage. And if it's going to be in your garage, you may need to declutter an area of that space first.
Whichever place it is, you're going to be wanting to clear it out regularly. And that means that you're not just moving things, you're actually working diligently to get those things out of your life forever.
It's a staging area, not a storage area.
So this is an imperfect science, but where do you think we should start first?
Attack any room or space that's cluttered with boxes. If there are things in these boxes that has been used in the last 12 months, they're big candidates for quick wins and getting out of your house.
And if you're opening up a box, go through the entire box. Anything you touch, you need to divide up into one of your categories, sell, donate, gift, or trash, so that you're not handling them more than once. That's where the one touch only rule comes in. And it's going to be a lifesaver. You do not want to have to make decisions about the same items over and over again.
And don't get caught in the thinking, maybe I'll use this. Maybe means no. It's going to be a really long decluttering process. Everything is a maybe. If you're really unsure of something, put it in one of your piles. You can always pull it back later if you really need to, but maybe you'll just be so happy that it's out of that room, you'll thank yourself for it.
The flat surfaces in your home, such as countertops and tabletops, are great places to start with decluttering because you can get a lot of easy wins by removing all the clutter that's on top of those flat surfaces. There's probably a bunch of tchotchkes and decor and useless items. When those surfaces are clean, you're going to feel a big sense of accomplishment because you're going to immediately feel like you have a lot more space.
And that discard muscle is going to feel stronger and stronger.
Exactly. The more you clean up, and especially in one place, and you can see how clean and tidy it is, it's going to make it easier to tackle the next area.
You might get a visual of how your whole home could look if it didn't have clutter all over it, and that can be really inspiring and really motivating.
If you've been through this process and you've decluttered your home or downsized, we'd be curious to know where you got started first.
Let us know in the comments.
Wherever you do start, don't start with attics or your basement. You can get to those more hidden places after you build up some quick wins.
Start with the places you live in every day. Your kitchen, your bedroom, your closets, your bathroom, and your garage. Let's break down a few of these and look for some quick wins.
Downsizing the items in the kitchen is one great place to get some quick wins. And that's because there's not typically a bunch of sentimental items in there. And one of the best tips we can suggest is to use the rule of getting rid of duplicates. And this is something you can use everywhere in your home, but especially you'll find it useful in your kitchen because there's a ton of duplicate items you probably have in there.
Many people have multiple sets of plates or tableware. Save only one set to cover your family's needs on a daily basis and donate or gift the rest. How about multiple small appliances or special purpose gadgets that you save because they could come in handy someday?
Get rid of all the kitchen items that aren't in use daily. You only have 2 hands. How many pot holders do you need? Same for dish towels. How many do you go through in a week? Only keep the bare minimum.
Imagine not having to spend minutes in a kitchen drawer to find the one tool you like to use, but all the other stuff is getting in your way.
It's okay to have half-filled drawers and gasp, empty cabinets. Pick 10 spices that you use all the time and box up the rest. Old spices don't add flavor anyway.
And it's okay to break up sets of things. Are you keeping your double boiler just because it matches your set of cookware?
Someone was glad to take my extra blender pieces that I never used, but held on to simply because it was part of a set.
And do you own any tools in your kitchen that are somewhat broken, melted, or should have been thrown out years ago? Just do it now.
One tip on how to stay out of the weeds. Understand yourself as you truly are, not the aspirational self that you want to be or hope to be someday, or even the person that you were 10 years ago. You need to focus on the person you are today. Does that person have the same hobbies? What about the stuff that you're going to get to someday? Chances are, if you haven't gotten to them already, you're not going to. Get rid of them now. If at some point you have free time, then you can assess what kind of hobbies you actually want to have and buy what you need for those things rather than just hold on to the stuff that you've held on to for your entire life.
And a great place for quick wins is your bathroom because you shouldn't have too many sentimental items there. And there's usually a lot of extra stuff in your bathroom that's been collected over the years. And talk about having visuals for quick wins. You're in the bathroom every day. Having less clutter there immediately tells you, hey, it's going to be a good day. There's less stuff in front of me.
Go through your medicine cabinet and get rid of any expired medicines or rarely used just in case items in here that are easy to downsize. Did you know that pharmacies will actually take your expired medications? You shouldn't dump them in the toilet or in the trash. And old sunscreen and cosmetics have lost their efficacy anyway.
Get rid of all the doubles and half-used products. If you had wanted to use them, you would have already done so. Dump them and commit to not buying fresh until you're nearly out of your existing products.
That goes for hairbrushes and hairpins and styling tools. Ideally, start with one drawer or cabinet at a time and empty it completely. Only put back in what you really need. And how many towels do you use in 1 week? Get rid of everything more than that. Or the items that you took home from the last time someone was in the hospital. Minimize the decor and remove all the tchotchkes and trinkets in here. Your countertops should be emptied. And if you have a bunch of cleaning supplies in your bathroom and rags, go ahead and get rid of all of the extras. You don't need as much as you're holding on to.
Let's talk about your closets. One of the big mistakes we made when we were downsizing was to look in our closet, assess everything, and then close the door. We started by getting rid of some of our clothes, but we could have been more aggressive about that too. And there are plenty of things on the shelves. We should just taken those all off, got them out of there, so we could really do something with them the one touch time.
If we would have seen all of our sentimental items gathered together, it would have been a rude awakening for us. As it was, just being able to know that they were in there gave us this false sense of security about how much we actually had to deal with. Because while everything was in the closet, it was very easy to underestimate exactly how much we had accumulated there.
Some of your clothing should be a quick win. Purge the clothes that no longer serve your current lifestyle or no longer fit your body.
Everything in your closet should fit the body you have right now.
If you dress in suits every day and now you only need a suit for a wedding or a funeral, keep that one and get rid of the rest of them.
How many special occasion clothes do you need? Probably one outfit, tops. And if shoes hurt your feet, regardless of how pretty they are, get rid of them. Again, you have 2 feet. How many pairs of shoes do you really need? Get rid of every pair that you don't wear on a regular basis.
I think some people will fight you on that one.
Hey, I made the same mistake, and I can't tell you how much happier I was when I just got rid of them all. Getting rid of some duplicates here can also feel hard to do because you may have a heavy winter coat that's long, one that's short, one that's casual. You don't need that many coats, but our consumerism society has taught us that you do.
Some of these items are just in case, and we aren't going to live that way anymore. Take the easy wins and keep only one coat. If you're undecided about clothes, put the maybe ones in the donation pile anyway. Once you see how good your closet looks with the extra space, you won't want to put anything back in it.
And the reality is people use so many fewer clothes than they have in their closet.
Garages aren't easy, but they can be big wins. Is your garage so full that you can't even park your car in it? Or are you always stepping over stuff to get someplace else in your garage? This is the thing you want to get rid of. And if you're going to use your garage as your staging area for gift, donate, sell, or trash, you want to make sure you have enough space for those piles.
It can be easy to be overwhelmed with everything that's in your garage, and so a lot of people tend to wait until the very end, but then they know that they have this big gargantuan project. You can find some quick wins in your garage.
Garages can be cluttered with someday tools. Get rid of anything you don't need for everyday yard maintenance. Old toys and seasonal decorations can accumulate in garages. If they're in usable condition, donate them.
Clear your shelving units of all of the maybe items. This is a great quick win.
Hardware stores can often dispose of paints or chemicals. And flower pots or decorations you haven't been using can be donated and sold easily.
Be brutal with what's on your garage shelves. It's easy to consider keeping them because they're out of sight. But once you've decluttered those shelves, they're easy to donate or sell. People are always looking for places to store their stuff.
Work diligently in this area and take a good look at your garage when you're done. Enjoy the success. And who knows, you may even be able to park your car in your garage now.
This process is typically a marathon, not a sprint. But if your timing is such that it needs to be a sprint, then treat it that way.
We do. Unfortunately.
So we put together a list of ways that you can keep your momentum high while you're going through this long, tedious process.
For quick wins, try to get rid of something every single day or focus on clearing a cabinet or one drawer so that all the wins pile up.
Make a game out of it. Get rid of the number of things that are the day of the month. For example, on the 11th of September, you get rid of 11 items. Set a timer for yourself. You'll be amazed at what you can do in 10 minutes.
Stay consistent. An object in motion stays in motion with much less effort than starting an object from a stop. And use opaque bags to store your stuff. They can be inside a box if you want more structure to them, but clear bags that allow you to see inside leads to temptation. Out of sight is out of mind, and it does work.
And keep your staging area as empty as possible. As we mentioned earlier, take your items to the trash or donation center or gift them as you go so you don't have a ton of items lingering around and becoming more clutter. For items that you're selling, put them together in your staging area and make a plan to get them sold.
If those sale items aren't selling, move them to the donation pile and get them out of your home.
The more free space you can see, the more the downsizing process will feel like a win. So what are our final thoughts?
Make space for what's important in life. Time with people you love, not your things. Your things don't love you. It can only get in the way of you having a happier, freer life.
Once you've actually decluttered your home, that opens up the world to you, including for you to do things like traveling, whatever you want, but your stuff will no longer be holding you back from it.
You can always buy more stuff, but you can't buy more time to do the things you want or spend time with the people you love.
So get started today. We hope this episode was helpful and empowering to you. If you haven't already subscribed, we would love for you to do that. We have episodes on Tuesdays as bonus episodes and also every Saturday. The kindest thing that you can do for us is to share our videos with your family and friends.
And check out findingginamarie.com, where we have articles, more information about us, and our downloads page.
Until next time.
Until next time.
If you have a lot of flat surfaces in your home, such as end tables and side tables and bars and countertops, it will give you,
and cadenzas and a duvet. Do you have a duvet? Duvets are cool.